it seems like that you got an understanding as an artist that there's more than just the element of creating. And what I mean by that is that, you know, like I've seen artists that the only thing they worried about is just recording their verse or producing their beat. You know, they don't understand the other things that go into it. Like earlier, you was talking about like, all right, so, you know, there's really no huge marketing ploy anymore. So, you know, you flood the market or you do this or you do that. How long did it take you as an artist to develop to a point where you began to see beyond just the creative process?
That's a tough one, man, because I still struggle with that. Honestly, man, I love the creative process. The rest of it, like, I wish like I had like a machine or somebody to handle that, like the whole social media stuff and you know, like I wish like I could if I could sit in the studio all day every day, like that's the best part. And the next best part is when it kind of gets out there and people enjoy it, you know, and people and you get feedback. That's the next level. But everything from between making it and releasing it is like that's like work. It takes away from the creative process, but that becomes a talent in and of itself. It's not an art form. It's a talent, and it's understanding how to use technology and understanding the it's tricky, man, because they even change the technology on you. Like they change how these platforms work. One day they work one way, and that was working. Then all of a sudden it stops working that way. You got to do something else. Like posts are no longer good. Now you got to do reels. Then you got to do stories. Then you got to make stories that turn into reels. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But
Like,
even the other element of it, like there are artists that create and they don't even understand like the publishing aspect of it. They'll be like, I don't whatever. You know, they have no concern about anything other than just saying like, hey, I've created this. And I feel like that the business has come from a standpoint, like we've all heard these cautionary tales about how people haven't made money off of music or they've got jerked or they haven't had ownership off of their art that they worked hard on creating. But I feel like there's still like kind of this pitfall a lot of time around the creative element of it that people get so engulfed in creating that they like, yeah, I just want to create. I'm not worried about that stuff. And then sadly, we find like on the other end of it, you know, after their music is monetized or their art is monetized and somebody else has reaped the benefits, then people are working backwards to educate themselves on these other elements of what goes into this. You know, so so with that being said, like what do we need to do or how do we shift artists from beyond just the creative element of saying like, yeah, I just want to write verses or make beats all day and to start actually thinking about this other stuff. All right. What about, you know, your publishing, you know, who's licensing your records or, you know, do you need to be a man? Do you need a manager? You know, do you need a booking agent? Do you need this? Do you need that? Like, how do we get people to start thinking about those things?
I think what has to happen is we're in a super voyeuristic society where people just don't want to appreciate your music. They need to know like it's got to be accompanied with lifestyle things. So your lifestyle, like things that you do have to be interesting. And then basically they're watching you live your life to your own music. It's like, it's crazy. It's absolutely insane. So, but what I think what has to happen is you have to get so much like leverage because your fan base is so big that things just start happening. You know what I'm saying? People start working for you. That's just how it is. Like it's like it's bandwagon. It's bandwagoning. You know, like 1 minute, like nobody supports you, and then when 10,000 people support you, the other 5,000 that weren't supporting you, that you know, then all of a sudden they jump on. So they bandwagon, and then all of a sudden you got 20,000, and then if you got like 50,000, then all of a sudden people want to shoot videos for you, and they want to do marketing for you, and then like. Everybody wants to be associated with something that's moving up rapidly, you know? So the key really for artists is to get themselves to a position where they're growing so quickly and everybody notices it, that everybody wants to be on top, part of it. And you get to cherry pick who the hell you're gonna, you know what I'm saying? No, fuck you. I remember you from back then. You said that, you did that. You know, I liked you. You can work with me. You know, like you. Then you get to cherry pick which jerk off you're gonna work with.
Yeah, isn't it interesting though that if you think about now, like you said, like the whole lifestyle piece, like we have so much accessibility to people, like whoever our favorite artist is. Now, like I remember back in the days, you know, once a month I would pick up the Source or even like a Rap Pages or Word Up and you read an article about Big Daddy Kane, but now you can go on Instagram and see Big Daddy Kane in his basement working on his plumbing. Or
isn't Sadat X working in a hospital every time you see his video?
Yeah. It's just this. It's like it's really humanized the relationship, but there was kind of air of mystery that I appreciated back then. And I'm like, once a month I get to find out what this particular artist is doing. But now every day you can just scroll Instagram. You be like, well,
you went to the store today.
Such and such going to work today.
Yeah. Well, and the funny thing is, you have to be almost like you have to be outrovert. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm naturally an introvert, and as I got older, I became more extrovert. And but some people really lean into the extrovert stuff. I'm not fully comfortable. I could show 1,000 things that I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? Like but I'm not fully comfortable with I just drove down to Florida yesterday. Like I just came in this morning. I've been on the road for 24 hours, So
that's because you got boundaries, Saga.
I do interesting things, I guess, but I don't think other people will find them interesting. They're interesting to me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not narcissistic enough to think that everybody wants to see exactly the nonsense that I'm doing every day,
Yeah. Oh man.